Locked on Bulls, recording Monday night after the Bulls win over the Houston Rockets. I'm Matt. That's Big Dave. Up ahead, we're breaking down this game, and on the second night of a back-to-back, DeMar DeRozan did his thing, but it was all about Coby White with one of his strongest games of the season thus far, which was a big part of the Bulls bench as a cohesive unit having a big night tonight. And we're also going to show some love to our guy, Lonzo Ball. That's all ahead on a fresh Locked On Bulls. Let's go.
You are Locked On Bulls, your daily podcast on the Chicago Bulls, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Here are your hosts, Matt Peck and Big Dave Watson.
What's up and welcome into Locked On Bulls, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I'm Matt Peck. You can follow me on the Twitter machine at Bulls_Peck. You can follow my co-host Big Dave Watson right here at BOW, BAWL Sports. Or you can follow us at Locked On Bulls. You can also hit us up on our text and voicemail line 331-979-1369. Today's episode is brought to you by TrueBill. TrueBill, the app that saves you money by helping you identify and stop paying for those subscriptions you don't want or need, and can even negotiate better deals on those you want to keep. Big Dave,
yes, sir.
Bulls get their second victory after a week of no basketball last week. And, kudos to DeMar. Another night with 6 assists after he had 38 and 6 times against the Lakers last night, getting his teammates involved. But to me, the story tonight has to start with Coby White, a guy that has been involved in a lot of trade talk among Bulls fans right now because of the fact that, hey, we got this kid Ayo Dosunmu that looks pretty good. Maybe the Bulls are going to look to bolster their front court with a deadline move to really make a playoff run this season, and Coby's expendable. He's also been dealing with the fact that he had offseason shoulder surgery, missed 6 months of basketball activity, only got in a handful of games coming off that injury before going into health and safety protocols. And you and I were among maybe the minority saying, let's give it some time. Let's give it some time with Coby. Let him find some kind of rhythm. We were talking about that on our Monday episode. Let Coby find some rhythm before we make a decision about this guy. He comes off the bench with 24 points tonight. He hit 5 threes after the Lakers game where he was ice cold from downtown. And we talked about how he was getting shots up after the Lakers game last night. Not only that, he was aggressive. He was attacking the basket. He got to the free throw line. Big night from our guy, Coby White.
Huge night for Coby White. These are the kind of teams, Matt. And I know people say, oh, no, it's the Rockets. It's a lesser team. We talk about this all the time on this show. When you play these kind of teams, these are the kind of games you're supposed to get right in. These are the ones right here. We said it for Vooch when he played Orlando. You know what I'm saying? We were like, you want to get right against those kind of teams. That's what you want to do. And that's what Coby White did. Matt is correct. When they saw him out, when Matt said that he was out there taking shots after the game, they were showing him doing that during the interview. I forget who they were interviewing, but they were showing him in the background. I think it was Casey Johnson or someone on the court. And in the back, you see Coby White just taking shots. I, for real, Matt, thought that it was they did it before the game when they showed him in the back taking shots. I was like, wait, that's after the game? I was like, oh, snap. When you put in that much work, you're going to have some success. That is what is going to happen. And it happened tonight for young Coby White. And you saw the frustration early on, too, because Matt, he was missing a little easy bunnies. You know what I'm saying? Little easy ones. He just couldn't put it in, and you saw that frustration. But when that baseline three-pointer went down, that's when it all flipped. That's when he said, okay, I saw one go in. Let's see another one go in. Let's see another one go in. Let's see another one go in. And then you turn that into a big night. Shout out to Coby White. And they moved him from the bench to the starting lineup because of the Caruso injury. We'll talk about that in a minute. But they moved him to the starting lineup. So that had to be a change for him as well. Didn't deter him. Still went out there and did his thing. Shout out to Coby White, man, for continuing to go ahead and be great.
Yeah, it's interesting that you mentioned that because, I mean, it feels like a lifetime ago, but I remember episodes of Bulls Outsiders where you and me and our guy John Sabine were debating Coby White and whether or not he was ready to be inserted into the starting lineup. And he was having all these amazing nights, scoring off the bench, looking confident. And, sheepishly, I will admit, I was the one saying, like, I think you still got to stick with Sato because I like Coby on the bench and I like what he brings you off the bench. Yeah, and now, even this season, despite all of these just like guys falling by the wayside, Billy Donovan having half of his roster available to him, Coby has still been playing that bench role. And as you said, because Caruso left early in tonight's game with a foot sprain, Coby got that spot as the second half starter. But clearly, Billy Donovan saw something in Coby tonight where Coby's looking aggressive. He's shooting confidently. And I'm gonna ride that because we've also talked about the fact that whoever the guys have been over the last 2 weeks while the Bulls have been dealing with this COVID outbreak who are starting, Donovan has acknowledged he's playing them heavy minutes. And you saw Lonzo, Caruso both played 38 minutes last night. I think DeRozan played 35 or 36. For Billy Donovan tonight, be like, you know what? Coby's playing well. He's looking confident. He's looking decisive. I can ride Coby plenty of minutes because I want to get this kid back up. And we talked on our Monday episode about maybe his conditioning being a factor because he had a symptomatic case of COVID. But man, Coby looked like a guy who was fully conditioned and ready to play a big part in tonight's game, Dave.
It is important, y'all. Coby White is important to this team. When Coby White is scoring, they are extra, extra formidable, especially in this situation when Zach is gone, when Ayo isn't out there, when now Caruso is down. Like, you're going to need Coby White and his scoring and his defense. You're gonna need that too, baby. You're gonna need it. A willing defender. Thank you, Stephen Bardo, for saying the word that I couldn't put together for all these weeks when I was talking about Coby White's defense. That's what I wanted to say, Matt. He's a willing defender now. That's the word I wanted to use. Thank you, Stephen Bardo, for putting that in my brain. But yeah, you're going to need all of that from Coby White. And Billy Donovan is going to lean on him, man. Like, whether Coby White is going or not, he's going to lean on Coby White because he is vitally important to that backcourt, y'all. And you need the points, you need the scoring. Whether everybody's broke or everybody's on, when Coby White is scoring with it, everything's better. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're like, oh, this is better. Yep. When everybody's scoring and then Coby White scores, that's when you get 133 points. When everybody's broke, but Coby White can get 30, that's when your team is still in the game in the fourth quarter for DeMar DeRozan to come do his thing along with Zach LaVine. It is important for Coby White to be out there on that floor performing for this team. We don't worry about the trades right now. Don't worry about getting them out. I know y'all love your trade machines on ESPN and all of that. I know you do. I know you love it, guys. Focus on what you got right now. Let this young man get his thing together. And once he gets it together, let's just enjoy it.
I mean, it's funny you say that because I quote tweeted that picture that Casey Johnson had of Patrick Williams getting up shots at halftime of tonight's game. And, P-Dub getting up shots. And I quote tweeted and said, you know what? I said this on the pod last week. I think P-Dub's coming back. I just like, that's my optimistic outlook. I think P-Dub's coming back this season. And the first reply within seconds was somebody saying, yeah, but I think he and Coby get traded by the deadline. I was like, come on, really, guys? This is what we're doing? And look, we know that talk is out there for a reason. Like, it's logical to think about Coby White being included in a trade that AK and Eversley might try to get done to improve their roster before this deadline. We understand that. But it's also, I think, important to recognize not just what me and Big Dave have been saying for the last few weeks, but something that Billy Donovan said after the game tonight when asked about Coby's strong game, which is, hey, this young man missed 6 months of basketball activity with a serious shoulder injury. He had to work his way back. He's playing with new teammates, trying to refigure out his role. Oh, and then he was put in protocols. What What do you think? What do you think? Do you think he's just going to immediately, after coming back from shoulder injury, be amazing? Do you think that immediately in his first game back from missing, 2 weeks with a symptomatic case of COVID, light it up against the Lakers last night? No. Billy Donovan sees this logically the way that you and I are seeing this logically, which is regardless of all the trade talk that's out there, what Coby White gave you tonight off the bench is so valuable. And you shouldn't be so quick to dismiss a player like that just because for things that are out of his control, he has struggled to find a rhythm. And Billy Donovan credited Coby for always, focusing and being ready for a night like tonight after this big win. And that's, I think, the frame of mind that Bulls fans should have.
You know what else I liked about what he did tonight, Matt? Because he played 31 minutes. What else I like? 5 rebounds, 2 turnovers.
Ooh.
2 turnovers for Coby White. That's the game you want him to have right there. Awesome game by Coby White. Did it inside, did it outside, catch and shoot, creating his own shot, getting guys open. He did it all, Matt, and I was just really, really impressed by him in that game against the Rockets, and I hope it just continues on for him, and I hope he gets on a nice little roll so, he can get comfortable within this offense, so when Zach and Io and all these other pieces come back and we just start stacking, Bulls are 2-0 in this right now, guys. After this, the Bulls are 2-0 in this. Come on, man. This is a time for joy, y'all. This is a time for joy. Enjoy this. Come on.
Coby was not the only member of the Bulls bench mob, the, taped together bench mob tonight. And we want to talk about that next because the Bulls got solid contributions elsewhere on that second unit. We'll do that in just a minute. But first, I mentioned it at the top of the show. Today's episode is brought to you in part by TrueBill. Big Dave, do you know why those free trials renew without your consent? It's because it's a business scam out to get you and your hard-earned dollars. Don't let greedy corporations pocket your money. You got to download TrueBill to take control of your subscriptions. TrueBill is the new app that helps you identify and stop paying for subscriptions that you don't need, want, or simply forgot existed. On average, people using TrueBill save up to $720 a year. Think what you could do with that kind of money. Because companies make subscriptions hard to cancel, TrueBill makes it incredibly simple. Just link your accounts, and TrueBill will cancel your unwanted subscriptions in one simple tap. And your TrueBill concierge is always there when you need them to cancel unwanted subscriptions so you don't have to. TrueBill has over 2 million users, and it has helped save them over $100 million. So don't fall for subscription scams anymore. Start canceling today at TrueBill.com/LockedOnNBA. Go right now, TrueBill.com/LockedOnNBA. It could save you thousands a year. TrueBill.com/LockedOnNBA.
Oh, dulcet tones of Peck. You know what it was tonight, y'all? You saw a Bulls game and the Bulls get a great victory. Then you saw a Bears game and the Bears look like the Bears. But before that, they had another game on. And then tomorrow, you got 2 more football games and more NBA action. Bowl games are right around the corner. I know what you want to do. You want to put some money on it. You want to get into the action. Well, the only place to do it, guys, is Bet Online. They've got you covered all season long with more props, odds, lines than ever before as this football season continues to march right on to the playoffs. They remain your number one spot for all your sports action this season. Now just head over to that brand new website, sign up today, and receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Use that promo code Locked On to receive that bonus. Locked On. Basketball, football, hockey, boxing, UFC. You want to put money on the Jake Paul fight? You could do that there too. Tennis, it's whatever, y'all. Don't wait. Take advantage. All the amazing offers that are available to you and yours for this 2021 season. BetOnline is the fastest. BetOnline is the easiest way to bet all your favorite sports. BetOnline, where the game starts. Sports.
All right, moving along, breaking down this Bulls win over the Rockets on Monday night. Coby White had himself a heck of a game, but he was one of many Bulls bench players who showed up on a night when, Big Dave, you and I were breaking down the win over the Lakers, talking about, hey, thank goodness for DeMar DeRozan, but this Bulls bench, Coby White was the Bulls bench leading scorer with 5 against the Lakers. He has 24 tonight. But how about the trio, this unlikely trio, Alfonzo McKinnie, Tyler Cook, and Devon Dotson? You're talking about two-way players in Cook and Dotson, and Alfonzo McKinnie, who earlier on Monday signed his second 10-day contract with the Bulls because of their situation with COVID protocols right now. Those 3 players combined for big minutes, including first quarter minutes, especially once Caruso went out with the foot injury. These 3 players, here's their collective stat line: 32 points, 6 boards, 5 assists. From those 3 guys. We've been talking all season long about how the Bulls bench hasn't been productive enough, isn't giving them enough. The starting 5, even whoever is that 4th guy in there with Zach and DeMar and Lonzo and Vooch, whoever that 5th guy is, doesn't matter. The bench is not giving them enough.
Right.
Coby gave him 24. That trio of 2 two-way players and a 10-day guy gave him 32.
Oh, that's just amazing. Alfonzo McKinnie, Matt, from the moment he got into the game, he had an Alfonzo McKinnie sequence, which is just wild for me to say. He came in, pulls up, gets the 3-pointer, goes down on the other end, gets the block shot, comes back on the other end for the pull-up 3-pointer. And I said, is this the Alfonzo McKinnie sequence? That is not something I had on my bingo card. But my goodness gracious, he showed out. He showed his value tonight. I told you, man, the Bulls value those wings, Matt, and you see it. These were a lot of wing guys they had out here, outside of Dotson, you know what I'm saying, who's a true point guard. But
right.
McKinnie, Tyler Cook, those guys are definitely wing players who can cheat at the 4, the 3-4, and probably cheat at the 5, you know what I'm saying, if you're running those lineups like you do with Derrick Jones Jr. and things like that, especially with Tyler Cook. But, man, McKinnie was just impressive. Out of the guys who I was shocked by, it was McKinnie who was honestly the most impressive. 4-6 from the 3-point line. Ooh. And the shot looked funny, but it was just all net. Like every single time. Like, man, he can score. Tyler Cook did most of his damage on the interior. You know what I'm saying? He did most of his damage when he was showing.
He got to the free throw line 8 times. 7 of 8 from the free throw line.
Yeah, I was about to say that because I was like, how is this dude continuing to get to the line? Like, I was just very impressed by that. Like, that will get you points. That will get you stuff. And then the play, obviously, he had a play too. The Lonzo Ball alley-oop. When Lonzo saw him coming down, he thought he was going to shoot the 3, saw that man cutting across. Fool, there you go, Tyler. And I mean, yammed that joint, man. It was just great to watch, man. Especially, man, it's just great to watch because we're so used to watching these guys, in the past, and we're heaping all this hope on them. You know what I'm saying? Like, just heaping them. Like, all right, guys, you're starting tonight with the 2 Samsons, you know what I'm saying, and the 2 Walters. Like, get out there and do your thing, and hopefully you'll get 30. We didn't want that tonight. You just wanted to see what they could do. If they could fit into this team and fit into what we're doing right here. And it feels like both of those guys did that.
Yeah. And so with Tyler Cook and Devon Dotson, a night like tonight, it's good to see and good to know, especially after the recent announcement from the league that 2-way players that play G League and NBA, there is no longer a maximum number of games that they can play, given the fact that the league is trying to push through this COVID surge that's causing, minimum 8 guy problems around the league right now. Dotson, in his previous limited minutes with the Bulls, looked a little out of his element, maybe in over his head a little bit. I was impressed by what I saw from Dotson tonight, and even some plays on the defensive end, which you really don't expect to see from Dotson, but he looked, poised. I think he had 4 assists tonight on the offensive end. He found his spots to attack the basket with his quickness off the dribble. It's nice to know that those are 2, backup cards that you got in your back pocket if you need them at some point as the season moves forward. The other interesting element to that trio, Alfonzo McKinnie, Matt Thomas, currently still in health and safety protocols. In the limited minutes he saw before going into protocols because the Bulls needed bodies, didn't really look confident when he had open looks to shoot, which is his specialty. Certainly a net minus defensive player. And you got to wonder if they see a few more games like this from Alfonzo McKinnie while he's on these 10-day contracts, they consider waiving Matt Thomas and saying, hey, McKinnie, how would you like to, stick it out and finish the season with us? Because I think maybe McKinnie it might give you a little more than the next to nothing we've seen from Matt Thomas.
Yes. Yeah.
Not to be harsh about it, but
that caught me off guard because it was funny, but but that's kind of true. Yeah, and McKinnie also offers you the size as well, and the versatility and the athleticism. So he offers you all those things. So you kind of looking at Matt Thomas like, what you want me to do? You know what I'm saying? But again, it was one game, but it was impressive in that one game, man. So and let's see more of it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Let's not stop here. Let's see more of it, because we kind of saw some of it from McKinnie in the last game. The first time we saw him play, I think it was against the Heat. We saw him get in there. He was solid in that. I remember he came in hitting 3-pointers and things. I was like, okay, yeah, good job, guys. Wonderful. Good job.
And he was thrust into a situation of like, hey, I know I actually haven't taken this class all semester, but sit down, you're taking the final exam.
Right.
He had just arrived and
just
looked
got
okay.
There. Yes, and he looked quite okay. He didn't look out of sorts or anything like that. And real quick, let me say about Devon Dotson. My favorite play from him wasn't even the scoring. It was when he got on that floor and tried to get that steal.
Go for that loose ball.
Go for that loose ball. Got it. Billy Donovan gets the timeout. Bulls keep the possession. That's beautiful stuff right there. That's the stuff that will get you on the team, man. That's the scrappiness that I like in my guards, man. That's that Caruso stuff. I dug it from Dotson, for real.
66 points in all from the Bulls bench tonight. Also, shout out Tony Bradley, who I thought had
Tony Bradley
stretches.
Shout out.
He made big plays on both ends of the floor tonight.
Yes, he did.
And, he has given the Bulls what he can give them, and tonight was another example of that.
3 for 3 from the field, boy.
Oh, how about that?
You see that jumper? Yeah, man, you saw it.
However, I did have to tweet that, that was a nice, fun mid-range J to see from Tony Bradley, but we all know who the king of Bull centers wearing number 13 is when it comes to the mid-range J. The mid-range J. Holsters, baby. Holsters.
Can't argue with any of this.
Can't argue with it. All right. We wanted to wrap up this episode with some thoughts on yet another just workhorse night from Lonzo Ball. We will get to that in just a minute. But first, Big Dave, tell the people about the awesome deals available at Boost Mobile.
Oh, you want to go to Boost Mobile and go ahead and save you some money? And you know who's going to tell you how? This guy right here. Because I know you listen to your podcast. You listen to your music and all that on your phone. Well, I'll tell you what. You switch to Boost Mobile because you can save that money. Because of Boost Mobile, you get the power of a free 5G phone. So you can listen to all the latest episodes of this show right here and of Bow on Bulls. You can check them all out. The power of 3 unlimited data lines for $30 a month, y'all. So your family can get down with this too. So you ain't got to worry about what they doing. They ain't got to be on your phone. You can do what you want to do because you saved you some money and you gave them unlimited data. It is a win-win. And it's the power of one of America's largest 5G networks. So you can do it all at the speed of 5G. Listen, just switch to Boost Mobile and find out. You ain't got to take the word from this handsome gentleman right here. Just go ahead and find out. Get a free Samsung Galaxy A32 5G when you switch to one of America's largest 5G networks. It's more power to save, more power to move. It's Boost Mobile. Free phone limited to customers and one per line. Additional restrictions apply. Offers coverage not available everywhere or for all phones on the network. See boostmobile.com for more details.
All right, moving along, breaking down this Bulls win over the Rockets Monday night. Big Dave, thinking back through certain plays in my mind from Lonzo tonight, and then also looking at his stat line, there are so many different directions you can go to start talking about Lonzo Ball after this game. Because you were the one who said, we got to talk about Lonzo tonight, I will give you the floor first. What was it for you tonight about Lonzo Ball?
Matt, I tweeted out during the game, like, this dude has just been absolutely awesome. And I mean awesome for the Chicago Bulls this season. he has done everything that he has been asked of him. And that's what's just been super impressive for me. Everything they've asked of him, he has done it. Whether they said, hey, man, we're going to need you to just be a facilitator right here. Okay. Hey, man, we're going to need a little more scoring from you because these guys are out. Okay. Hey, man, we're going to need you to go ahead and be off the ball. You know what I'm saying? On this offense. Okay. Hey, we're going to need you to defend their best player in this fourth quarter. We're going to need you to put some defense on him and try to lock him down. Okay. He's done it, Matt, with the same demeanor. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of Chad from Saturday Night Live. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay. He just does it. Like nothing changes. Like the demeanor doesn't change. Nothing affects it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's rare for him to show the emotion. And when you see the emotion from him, it's usually of joy. You know what I'm saying? Because he just did something really awesome. Watching him this game, I love his game so much because you can't just look at the numbers. Even though tonight his numbers were on point like they were last game. But hold on, let me get his numbers here for you right quick. 19 points, 5 rebounds, 8 assists, 5 steals, y'all. And he tossed in a block that we heard all around the world because he smacked the crap out of that ball too. My God, it was amazing. He was everywhere. Just an irritant, a facilitator, a scorer. He was a Swiss Army knife for the Chicago Bulls. And he has been that all season long from game one. You watch how the offense moves when he's out there, y'all. Watch it. Just look at how the offense moves, how the ball doesn't stick, how everybody knows where they're supposed to be. Matt, the play when Houston came down and they were trying to put their little run together and they came down and they shot that three and they hit that joint. When Lonzo ran, got the ball, said, Justin Fields tossed that joint down to DeMar DeRozan for the easy score and put back up. I was screaming when I saw that. That is stuff that's just basketball IQ because he saw it the minute the ball went into the basket. He saw that. The minute it went in the basket, he was like, nope, give him the ball. I'm like, no, I'm going. It's gone. And he just put it there perfectly, man. The dude has been truly, truly special from all aspects of the Bulls, man. I couldn't have asked for more from this dude when he came here. This is what I expected when we got Lonzo Ball, and he's just been everything I've wanted and more. Thank you, Lonzo Ball, for being you, because you've been awesome.
Yeah, I'm glad that you said that phrase, basketball IQ, because it teed me up for, what I wanted to say, because tonight, like many nights, you see Lonzo and his stat line, it's just kind of like scattered a little bit of everything. And it speaks to the fact that, that's the eye test. You see Lonzo doing a little bit of everything every night. Whatever Billy Donovan asks of him, he says, yeah, all right, cool. I got you. Okay. I could do that. And, that one, inbound baseline full court, which not only to have the IQ to do that, but the ball placement, which was just perfect, 100% perfect. It is one of a litany of examples already this season where I will admit that earlier on in his NBA career with the Lakers, with the Pelicans, I underestimated how smart of a basketball player Lonzo Ball is. And I will own that. I will own that right now. I did not know that he had this high of a basketball intellect. And it's not just the full court passes like that, but it's examples on both ends of the floor when he knows how to call out defensive assignments to help his teammates when they are in a transition defense situation. It's when he knows how to space the floor on offense, whether he's playing on or off the ball. The little nuances of what he does to space the Bulls properly, even especially when he's playing off the ball, are so impressive and so smart and often lead to the Bulls getting good looks. I mean, he had 8 assists tonight on his own, but the way that Lonzo sees the floor, like he should be credited with whatever his assist number is every night, double it, because he's partially responsible for at least that many other buckets that he doesn't get the actual tally for in the assist column. And again, I will say this. I did not know until he put on a Bulls jersey that Lonzo was this smart of a basketball player. That's on me. I apologize. And I love watching him play because he is one of the smartest basketball players in the NBA right now.
That's just all he is, Matt. Just one of the most intelligent minds out there. It's why you like watching him with Caruso so much. because you just, especially on the defensive end, you just see both of those guys' minds clicking, and it's just amazing to watch. What he's doing for guys like Tony Bradley can't be underestimated, okay? He is getting that confidence right in Tony Bradley to the point where Tony Bradley don't even hand him the ball back. No, I got it. Let me tell him, pop this J right here. I'm going to take this right here. Cash money. You know what I'm saying, man? And he took it all comedy. I'm telling you, man, that's Lonzo stuff because Lonzo looks for him. He really does look for this dude. He looks for this man to get him the ball to see if he could go ahead, and score and do his thing like that. But, man, it's just impressive to watch it night after night, and whatever they need. Even you can even throw in when they need a big bucket. He'll go get that because you saw that against the New Jersey Nets. You saw it against the Brooklyn Nets. You saw it. Cash money 3, he got him. When they played Charlotte, got him. You know what I'm saying? He was the one.
Some big buckets against the Lakers on Monday night or Sunday night.
Lots of buckets against the Lakers. He has just been awesome for the Bulls on both ends, guys. I can't stress that enough, that it's on both ends of the floor. And whoever your best player is, he is going to guard them. He's going to be on them. It's just what it is. And he's doing it now, Matt, with heavier minutes.
Yeah.
Now he's got more minutes. Billy Donovan's putting more on his shoulders, and he's just responding like a champion, man. He has been awesome. He has been tremendous. We got to give him some accolades after the season is over because he has been just great for the Chicago Bulls.
Yeah, man. I think Lonzo sums up very succinctly 4 things that the Bulls' new front office, AK and Eversley, have been targeting with this roster overhaul since they got here. And it is a big reason why the Bulls are 19-10 and second in the East right now. You ready for this?
Hit me.
Length, athleticism, basketball IQ, and selfless team first. All I care about is winning players. Lonzo Ball exemplifies all 4 of those things. And for the most part, you have seen AK and Eversley bring in a lot of players that have some, if not all, of those qualities. But without a doubt, Lonzo Ball is all 4 of those things. And he is a big reason why the Bulls are where they are.
The first person they signed, the very first person they signed in the offseason was Lonzo Ball.
Tampering.
1 minute. Fine, great. Had that second round pick. Have a nice day. You know what I'm saying?
Keep the change, you filthy animal.
You dig what I'm saying? Come on, baby. He was the target during the season because they tried to get him in a trade. He was the target in the offseason. They knew what he could bring to the team. And he knew, most importantly, what he could bring to the team because they told him exactly what they wanted from him, which was, we just want you to be you. When you're seeing it more this game because you see they're asking him to score, right? I saw him come down, going between the legs, trying to cross cats over, hit him with step backs, do stuff like that. I ain't seen him do that all season long. You know what I'm saying? But they need him to do that now. So he's like, okay, I'll do it. All right, fine. That's what you want. I'll do it. I'd rather pass. I'd rather get everybody else involved. And that's the kind of guy you want as your point guard. He's just that selfless, man. He doesn't care. He's like, fine, I got 6 points. Did we win? You know what I'm saying? Like, did we get a W? Great. Let's go out here and let's go get another W. And you just see it rub off on the teammates, Matt. This is great for the young guys. You know what I'm saying? This is great for the guys who are underneath them like Ayo, you know what I mean? Even Dotson, you know what I'm saying? All those other guys, to see this kind of guy as your point guard and carrying your team on that at that position, you know what I'm saying? That's great for those guys to see it and how it should be done because you can't get like that without being in the gym all the time. So obviously he's in the gym a lot doing his thing. That means they're going to be in the gym a lot doing their thing, trying to figure it out and getting it right. He has been amazing. To all y'all out there that thought he wasn't going to be, shut up. He's been amazing for the Chicago Bulls, man. And you know you are happy he's here. You know it. Just enjoy it. Just enjoy it.
As Stacey would say, that's your point guard, Neil Funk. Goodness gracious. All right, that's it for tonight. Appreciate everybody who was hanging out with us on YouTube live. If you are there and enjoyed the episode, go ahead and hit that like button for us. We'd appreciate it. And if you aren't subscribed to us on YouTube already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Subscribe to us, Locked On Bulls, on YouTube. You can always Also, hit us up on that text and voicemail line 331-979-1369. I am at Bulls_Peck on Twitter. Dave is at BAWL Sports. We are at Locked On Bulls. The Bulls get tomorrow off, then host the Raptors on Wednesday to try to get to 3 straight wins and 20-10 on the season. Woo!
To the east.
Until next time, I'm Matt. That's Big Dave. See Red, be good, Bulls Nation. Peace out.